The human mind, its powers and limitations. A distinction was earlier drawn in the human soul between intellect and will. We will accordingly pursue our argument by first examining the powers of the intellect. To claim that the intellect has become so blind that it retains no knowledge of the things of this world would be repugnant not only to God's word, but also to universal experience. For as we know, the human mind has a desire to seek out the truth, which it would not be inclined to do if it did not have some prior taste of it. Already, then, our minds possess some spark of light, a natural love of the truth, contempt of which among the brute beasts shows how senseless and devoid of reason they are. However, our love of the truth, such as it is, falters even before it gets underway, because it yields to vanity. For the human mind, because of its ignorance, cannot follow a sure path in its search for truth, but blunders into various errors. Just as a blind man stumbles about in the darkness until he quite loses his way, so the mind, pursuing the truth, shows how ill-suited and ill-equipped it is to seek and find it. Failing more often than not to discern what it should strive to know, it is thus plagued by the foolish itch to inquire into useless trivia. As for the really important things, it either despises them, or instead of attending to them, it simply gives them a passing glance. The human mind, to be sure, hardly ever applies itself to conscientious study. There is a willfulness here about which all pagan writers complain, but which we know envelops them all. Solomon, therefore, in Ecclesiastes, having reviewed all the things which interest men and about which they claim to be wise, concludes that they are vain and futile. When, however, the mind does apply itself, it does not toil so much in vain that no benefit results, and chiefly so when it turns its attention to things below. Nor is it so devoid of sense as not to have some small taste of things above, even though it is careless in pursuing them. Still, it does not have the same capacity in one sphere as in the other, for whenever it tries to rise above the present life, it is chiefly forced to admit its weakness. To discover, therefore, how far it can go in each sphere, a distinction must be made.